சன் ஜேஜஸ் ஆதி பொதுஅறிவு சார்ந்த ஒரு யூடியூப் சேனலாகும். இந்த பாடத்திற்கான கேள்வி பதிலை டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷன் பாக்ஸில் கொடுத்துள்ளேன், சரிபார்த்துக் கொள்ளவும். அத்துடன் எனது சேனல்களின் இணைப்பும் உள்ளது.
Indian polity and Constitution. 1. A federal structure for India was first put forward by the 1. Act of 1909, 2. Act of 1919, 3. Act of 1935, 4. Act of 1947, 2. Which of the following exercised the most profound influence in framing the Indian Constitution? 1. British Constitution, 2. U.S. Constitution, 3. Irish Constitution, 4. The Government of India Act, 1935, 3. How does the Constitution of India describe India as? 1. A federation of states and union territories, 2. A union of states, 3. Baravarsh, 4. A federated nation, 4. The system of judicial review originated in 1. India, 2. Germany, 3. Russia, 4. USA. 5. Preventive detention means 1. Detention for interrogation, 2. Detention after interrogation, 3. Detention without interrogation, 4. Detention for cognizable offense. 6. What was the basis for constituting the Constituent Assembly of India? 1. The resolution of the Indian National Congress, 2. The Cabinet Mission Plan, 1946, 3. The Indian Independence Act, 1947, 4. The resolutions of the provincial/state legislatures of the Dominion of India, 7. From the constitution of which country the provision of federation was borrowed while framing the Constitution of India? 1. USA, 2. UK, 3. Canada, 4. Switzerland, 8. Who among the following was not a member of the Constituent Assembly established in July 1946? 1. Dr. Rajendra Prasad, 2. K. M. Munshi, 3. Mahatma Gandhi, 4. Abul Kalam Azad, 9. Who was the chairman of the drafting committee of the Constitution? 1. J. B. Kripalani, 2. Rajendra Prasad, 3. J. L. Nehru, 4. B. R. Ambedkar, 10. India is a republic because 1. It is democratic country, 2. It is a parliamentary democracy, 3. The head of the state is elected for a definite period, 4. All of these, 11. Who was the constitutional advisor to the Constituent Assembly of India? 1. Dr. Rajendra Prasad, 2. Dr. B. R. Ambedkar, 3. Sir B. N. Rao, 4. Shri K. M. Munshi, 12. Which of the following countries has introduced direct democracy? 1. Russia, 2. India, 3. France, 4. Switzerland, 13. Who was the President of the Republic of India who consistently described Indian secularism as Sarva Dharma Samabhav? 1. Drive S. Radhakrishnan, 2. Dr. Zakir Hussain, 3. Dr. Rajendra Prasad, 4. Gaini Zail Singh, 14. Which of the following countries have an unwritten constitution? 1. U.S.A, 2. UK. 3. Pakistan, 4. India, 15. The Constitution of India was adopted on 1. January 26, 1950, 2. January 26, 1949, 3. November 26, 1949, 4. December 31, 1949, 16. Which of the following is a feature to both the Indian Federation and the American Federation? 1. A single citizenship, 2. Dual judiciary, 3. 3 lists in the Constitution, 4. A federal Supreme Court to interpret the Constitution, 17. The Constitution of India describes India as 1. A union of states, 2. Quasi-federal, 3. a federation of state and union territories. 4. A unitary state. 18. Who among the following was the President of the Constituent Assembly of India? 1. Dr. Rajendra Prasad. 2. Jawaharlal Nehru. 3. M. A. Jinnah. 4. Lal Bahadur Shastri. 19. The convention that once a speaker always a speaker is followed in 1. UK, 2. USA, 3. France, 4. India. 20. Indian Penal Code came into operation in 1. 1858, 2. 1860, 3. 1859, 4. 1862, 21. How many articles are there in the Indian Constitution? 1. 395, 2. 396, 3. 398, 4. 399, 22. A federal structure for India was first put forward by the 1. Act of 1861, 2. Act of 1909, 3. Act of 1919, 4. Act of 1939, 23. When was our national anthem first sung and where? 1. January 24, 1950 in Allahabad, 2. January 24, 1950 in 3. December 26, 1942 in Calcutta, 4. December 27, 1911 in Calcutta, 24. The Constitution of India came into force on 1. 26 January, 1950, 2. January 26, 1952, 3. August 15, 1948, 4. November 26, 1949, 25. The term caste was derived from 1. Portuguese, 2. Dutch, 3. German, 4. English, 26. The term Greater India denotes 1. Political unity, 2. Cultural unity, 3. Religious unity, 4. Social unity, 27. The two forms of democracy are 1. Parliamentary and presidential, 2. Direct and indirect, 3. Monarchical and republican, 4. Parliamentary and king, 28. The Constitution of India contains 1. 340 articles, 2. 395 articles, 3. 400 articles, 4. 404 articles, 29. Which was described by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar as the heart and soul of the Constitution. 1. Right to equality, 2. Right against exploitation, 3. Right to constitutional remedies, 4. Right to freedom of religion, 30. In India, the concept of single citizenship is adopted from 1. England, 2. USA, 3. Canada, 4. France, 31. The drafting of the Constitution was completed on 1. January 26, 1950, 2. December 26, 1949, 3. November 26, 1949, 4. November 30, 1949, 32. Who was the President of the Constituent Assembly? 1. P.T. Jawaharlal Nehru, 2. Sardar Patel, 3. Dr. Rajendra Prasad, 4. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, 33. The method of impeachment of the President of India is adopted from 1. USA, 2. UK, 3. USSR, 4. France, 34. Who was the chairman of the Constituent Assembly? 1. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, 2. Dr. Rajendra Prasad, 3. Jawaharlal Nehru, 4. Vallabhbhai Patel, 35. The Constitution of India describes the country as a 1. Union of states, 2. Federation, 3. Unitary state, 4. Confederation, 36. The concept of constitution first originated in 1. Switzerland, 2, Britain, 3, USA, 4, Japan, 37. The Provisional President of the Constituent Assembly was, 1. Dr. Satchidananda Sinha, 2. Dr. Rajendra Prasad, 3. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, 4. P.T. Jawaharlal Nehru, 38. The Chairman of the Drafting Committee of the Indian Constitution was, 1. P.T. Jawaharlal Nehru, 2. Dr. Rajendra Prasad, 3. Mahatma Gandhi, 4. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, 39. Who was the Chairman of the Constituent Assembly of India? 1. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, 2. Dr. Rajendra Prasad, 3. Dr. B.N. Rao, 4. P.T. Jawaharlal Nehru, 40. Persons may change but rules should not change is the principle of 1. Absolute monarchy, 2. Constitutional government, 3. Unwritten constitution, 4. Republic, 41. The Constituent Assembly of India was set up under the 1. Simon Commission proposals, 2. Cripps proposals, 3. Mountbatten Plan, 4. Cabinet Mission Plan, 42. The two basic principles of the liberal theory of democracy as emphasized by John Locke, are 1. Universal adult franchise and the right to property, 2. Representative democracy and workers' rights, 3. Popular sovereignty and constitutional government, 4. Women's suffrage and popular sovereignty, 43. Cabinet system and collective responsibility are the contributions of 1. Ireland, 2. United States, 3. India, 4. Britain, 44. Direct democracy is a system of government in which 1. People choose the civil servants, 2. People directly elect their representatives. 3. People take part directly in the policy making and administration of the country. 4. Government officials consult people on various appointments. 45. In India legal sovereignty is vested with 1. The President, 2. The Judiciary, 3. The Cabinet, 4. The Constitution, 46. Who was the President of the Constituent Assembly of India? 1. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, 2. Jawaharlal Nehru, 3. Dr. Rajendra Prasad, 4. Shri K. M. Munshi, 47. Who was the Chairman of the Drafting Committee of the Constituent Assembly? 1. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, 2. C. Rajagopalachari, 3. Dr. Rajendra Prasad, 4. Jawaharlal Nehru, 48. What is meant when the Constitution declares India a secular state? 1. Religious worship is not allowed, 2. Religions are patronized by the state, 3. The state regards religions as a private affairs of the citizen and does not discriminate on this basis, 4. None of these, 49. January 26 selected as the date for the inauguration of the Constitution, because 1. It was considered to be an auspicious day, 2. On that day the Quit India movement was started in 1942, 3. The Congress had observed it as the Independence Day in 1930, 4. None of these, 50. The unitary system of government possesses which of the following advantages? 1. Greater adaptability, 2. Strong state, 3. Greater participation by the people, 4. Lesser chances of authoritarianism, 51. Which one of the following is not an element of the state? 1. Population, 2. Land, 3. Army, 4. Government, 52. Who was the chairman of the drafting committee of the Constituent Assembly? 1. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, 2. C. Rajagopalachari, 3. Dr. Rajendra Prasad, 4. Jawaharlal Nehru, 53. The concept of sovereign parliament originated in 1. England, 2. India, 3. France, 4. Japan, 54. Who is considered the architect of the Indian Constitution? 1. Mahatma Gandhi, 2. B.R. Ambedkar, 3. Jawaharlal Nehru, 4. B. N. Rao, 55. The concurrent list in the Indian Constitution is adopted from the Constitution of 1. USA, 2. Canada, 3. Germany, 4. Australia, 56. When was the Indian Constitution adopted? 1. August 15, 1947, 2. November 26, 1949, 3. January 26, 1950, 4. 2. ND October 1952, 57. The mind and ideals of the framers of Constitution are reflected in the 1. Preamble, 2. Fundamental duties, 3. Fundamental rights, 4. Directive principles of state policy, 58. Which of the following is not a feature of Indian Constitution? 1. Parliamentary form of government, 2. Independence of judiciary, 3. Presidential form of government, 4. Federal government, 59. What is the basis of classification of governments as unitary and federal? 1. Relationship between legislature and executive, 2. Relationship between executive and judiciary, 3. Relationship between the center and states, 4. Relationship between the legislature, executive and judicial wings of government, 60. Indian Constitution is 1. Federal, 2. Almost federal, 3. Unitary, 4. Presidential, 61. Constitution of India came into force in 1. 1951, 2. 1956, 3. 1950, 4. 1949, 62. The state possesses 1. Only external sovereignty, 2. Only internal sovereignty, 3. Both internal and external sovereignty, 4. Neither external nor internal sovereignty, 63. The Government of India Act, 1935 was based on 1. Simon Commission, 2. Lord Curzon Commission, 3. Dimitrov Thesis, 4. Lord Clive's Report, 64. Who described the Government of India Act, 1935 as a new charter of bondage? 1. Mahatma Gandhi, 2. Rajendra Prasad, 3. P.T. Jawaharlal Nehru, 4. B.R. Ambedkar, 65. Who is custodian of the Indian Constitution? 1. President of India, 2. Chief Justice of India, 3. Prime Minister of India, 4. Chairman of Rajya Sabha, 66. Which of the following is an essential element of the state? 1. Sovereignty, 2. Government, 3. Territory, 4. All these, 67. Which is the most important system in democracy? 1. Social, 2. Political, 3. Economic, 4. Governmental, 68. Where do we find the ideals of Indian democracy in the Constitution? 1. The Preamble, 2. Part 3, 3. Part 4, 4. Part I, 69. The state operates through 1. Political party, 2. Party president, 3. Government, 4. President, 70. When was the first Central Legislative Assembly constituted? 1. 1922, 2. 1923, 3. 1921, 4. 1920, 71. The Constitution of India describes India as 1. A federation, 2. A quasi-federal, 3. Unitary, 4. Union of states, 72. The concept of rule of law is a special feature of constitutional system of 1. Britain, 2. USA, 3. France, 4. Switzerland, 73. The method of amending the Constitution by popular veto is found in 1. Britain, 2. Switzerland, 3. Russia, 4. India, 74. Which of the following is the inalienable attribute of the parliamentary system of government? 1. Flexibility of the Constitution, 2. fusion of executive and legislature, 3. Judicial supremacy, 4. Parliamentary sovereignty, 75. Grassroots democracy is related to 1. Devolution of powers, 2. Decentralization of powers, 3. Panchayati Raj system, 4. All of the above, 76. The phrase equality before law used in Article 14 of Indian Constitution has been borrowed from 1. USA, 2. Germany, 3. Britain, 4. Greece, 77. Democratic socialism aims at 1. Bringing about socialism through peaceful means, 2. Bringing about socialism through violent and peaceful means, 3. Bringing about socialism through violent means, 4. Bringing about socialism through democratic means, 78. Which one of the following judgments stated that secularism and federalism are the basic features of the Indian Constitution? 1. Keshavananda Bharti case, 2. S. R. Bhamai case, 3. Indira Saune case, 4. Minerva Mills case, 79. Universal adult franchise shows that India is a country which is 1. Secular, 2. Socialist, 3. Democratic, 4. Sovereign, 80. Who among the following was not a member of the drafting committee of Indian Constitution? 1. B.R. Ambedkar, 2. Alladai Krishnaswamy, 3. Rajendra Prasad, 4. Gopal Acharya Iyengar, 81. Autocracy means _ 1. Rule by few, 2. Rule by king, 3. Absolute rule by one, 4. Rule by the representatives of the people, 82. Constitutional monarchy means 1. The king writes the constitution, 2. The king interprets the constitution, 3. The king exercises power granted by constitution, 4. The king is elected by the people, 83. What is popular sovereignty? 1. Sovereignty of people's representative, 2. Sovereignty of the legal head, 3. Sovereignty of the head of state, 4. Sovereignty of the people, 84. The idea of parliamentary form of government is adapted from 1. US, 2. UK, 3. Ireland, 4. USSR, 85. Who among the following proposed the suggestion for a constituent assembly first in 1935? 1. Nehru, 2. Gandhi, 3. J.P. Narayan, 4. M.N. Roy, 86. Name of the country from which the constitutional features of procedures for amendment was borrowed by India. 1. Britain, 2. America, 3. South Africa, 4. Germany, 87. From which of the following country Indian Constitution borrowed the feature the written constitution? 1. USSR, 2. UK, 3. US, 4. Japan, CPO, 88. In which of the following acts the territorial division of governance in India was done? 1. Government of India Act, 1858, 2. Indian Councils Act, 1861, 3. Indian Councils Act, 1892, 4. Government of India Act, 1861, 89. By which of the following act the system of diarchy was introduced at the center? 1. 1909, 2. 1919, 3. 1935, 4. 1947, 90. Who was the first chairman of Indian Constitution's drafting committee? 1. B. L. Mittur, 2. Madhav Rao, 3. Dr. B. R. Ambedkar, 4. T. T. Krishnamachari, 91. In which year the Constituent Assembly of India started functioning? 1. 1945, 2. 1946, 3. 1947, 4. 1948, 92. The Constitution _ 1. Is silent on the President's re-election to the office. 2. Allows re-election of a person to the President's post, 3. restricts a person to remain president for only 2 terms. 4. Has been amended to allow a person only 1 term as president. 93. Which of the following act introduced separate electorates, communal representation, for Muslims? 1. 1892 Act, 2. Act of 1909, 3. Reforms of 1919, 4. Government of India Act of 1935, 94. Which type of democracy do we follow in India? 1. Direct, 2. Presidential, 3. Representative, 4. Dictatorship, 95. The chairman of the drafting committee of the Constituent Assembly of India was 1. K. M. Munshi, 2. D. P. Khaitan, 3. Dr. B. R. Ambedkar, 4. T. T. Krishnamacharya, 96. Indian Constitution came into force on 1. August 15, 1947, 2. January 26, 1950, 3. November 26, 1948, 4. November 6, 1948, 97. The Constitution of India was framed by 1. Planning Commission, 2. Constituent Assembly, 3. President, 4. Working Committee, 1. Which among the following writs comes into the category of public litigation petition before High Court or Supreme Court? 1. A challenge to elections of the office bearers of a political party, 2. Against political interference, 3. Against the decision of lower court, 4. Against a general topic, 2. India is considered as a republic mainly because 1. The head of the state is elected. 2. It gained independence on August 15, 1947, 3. It has its own written constitution, 4. It is having a parliamentary form of government. 3. What was the exact constitutional position of the Indian Republic when the Constitution was brought into force with effect from January 26, 1950? 1. A democratic republic, 2. A sovereign democratic republic, 3. A sovereign secular democratic republic, 4. A sovereign secular socialist democratic republic, 4. Which writ is issued by a high court or the Supreme Court to compel an authority to perform a function that it was not performing? 1. Writ of certiorari, 2. Writ of habeas corpus, 3. Writ of mandamus, 4. Writ of quo warranto, 5. Separation of the judiciary from the executive has been provided in one of the following parts of the Indian Constitution: 1. The Preamble, 2. The Fundamental Rights, 3. The Directive Principles of State Policy, 4. The 7th Schedule, 6. Which of the following categories of citizens of the prescribed age may be registered as a voter? 1. Bankrupt, 2. Convicted for certain crimes or corruption, 3. Non-resident citizens, 4. Mentally unsound, 7. Which of these is not included as a fundamental right in the Indian Constitution? 1. Right to freedom of speech, 2. Right to equality before the law, 3. Right to constitutional remedies, 4. Right to equal wages for equal work, 8. Bills of which of the following categories can be initiated only in Lok Sabha? 1. Ordinary Bill, 2. Private Members Bill, 3. Money Bill, 4. Constitution Amendment Bill, 9. Which of the following can a court issue for enforcement of fundamental rights? 1. A decree, 2. An ordinance, 3. A writ, 4. A notification, 1st, 10. Under the directive principles of state policy, up to what age of the children, they are expected to be provided free and compulsory education? 1. 14 years, 2. 15 years, 3. 16 years, 4. 18 years, 11. The term secular was added in the preamble to the Indian Constitution by 1. 41st Amendment, 2. 42nd Amendment, 3. 43rd Amendment, 4. 44th Amendment, 12. Which of the following is not a fundamental right? 1. Right to equality, 2. Right to liberty, 3. Right against exploitation, 4. Right to property, 13. Which of the following writs/orders of the High Court/Supreme Court is sought to get an order of an authority quashed? 1. Mandamus, 2. Certiorari, 3. Quo warranto, 4. Habeas corpus, 14. Civil equality implies, 1. Equality before law, 2. Equality of opportunity, 3. Equal distribution of wealth, 4. Equal right to participate in the affairs of the state, 15. Of the following words in the preamble of the Constitution of India, which was not inserted through the Constitution, 42nd Amendment, Act, 1976? 1. Socialist, 2. Secular, 3. Dignity, 4. Integrity, Prelim August 2, 2004, 16. Indian Parliament can rename or redefine the boundary of a state by 1. A simple majority, 2. Absolute majority, 3. 2/3 RD majority of the members voting, 4. 2/3 RD majority of the members voting and an absolute majority of its total membership, 17. Which is the source of political power in India? 1. The Constitution, 2. The Parliament, 3. The Parliament and the state legislatives, 4. We, the people, 18. Which one of the following is a political right? 1. Right to freedom, 2. Right to contest elections, 3. Right to equality before law, 4. Right to life, 19. Fundamental rights in India are guaranteed by it through 1. The right to equality, 2. Right against exploitation, 3. Right to constitutional remedies, 4. Educational and cultural rights, 20. Which of the following writs of the High Court or the Supreme Court is sought to produce in the court a person, suspected to be missing/in custody? 1. Mandamus, 2. Quo warranto, 3. Habeas corpus, 4. Certiorari, 21. To which of the following bills the President must accord his sanction without sending it back for fresh consideration? 1. Ordinary bills, 2. Money bills, 3. Bills passed by both houses of the Parliament, 4. Bill seeking amendment to the Constitution, 22. Where in the Indian Constitution has economic justice been provided as one of the objectives? 1. Mental rights, 2. Directive principles, 3. Fundamental rights, 4. Fundamental rights and the directive principles statistical investigators, 23. Which one of the following is not enumerated as a right in the Constitution of India? 1. Political and social right, 2. Educational right, 3. Economic right, 4. Right to religion, 24. Which one of the following is not mentioned in the preamble to the Constitution of India? 1. Justice, 2. Fraternity, 3. Adult franchise, 4. Equality of position, 25. The Indian Constitution recognizes minorities on the basis of 1. Religion, 2. Caste, 3. Percentage of the population of the group to the total population, 4. Color, 26. A writ of mandamus can be issued by the Supreme Court to 1. An official to perform public duty, 2. The Prime Minister to dissolve the Cabinet, 3. The company to raise wages, 4. The government to pay the salaries to employees, 27. How many fundamental duties are included in Indian Constitution? 1. 9, 2, 10, 3, 11, 4, 12, 28. The right to vote in elections to a parliament is a 1. Fundamental right, 2. Constitutional right, 3. Legal right, 4. Natural right, 29. Which of the following is not a fundamental right? 1. Right to equality, 2. Right to property, 3. Right to freedom, 4. Right to constitutional remedies, 30. The fundamental rights in our Constitution are inspired by the Constitution of 1. United States of America, 2. United Kingdom, 3. Switzerland, 4. Canada, 31. Under the Constitution, the power to issue a writ of habeas corpus is vested in 1. High courts alone, 2. Supreme Court alone, 3. Both Supreme Court and High Courts, 4. All courts down to the district courts, 32. Which of the following is a bulwark of personal freedom? 1. Mandamus, 2. Habeas corpus, 3. Quo warranto, 4. Certiorari, 33. The writs for the enforcement of fundamental rights are issued by 1. The Parliament, 2. The President, 3. The Supreme Court, 4. The Election Commission, 34. Evaluate the following statements. I. The legal interpretation of equality is chiefly influenced by equality before law and equal protection of law. 2. Equality before law means rule of law. 1. I is correct but 2 is incorrect. 2. 2 is correct but I is incorrect. 3. Both are correct. 4. Both are incorrect. 35. A writ issued by the Supreme Court compelling a quasi-judicial/public authority to perform its mandatory duty is 1. Quo warranto, 2. Mandamus, 3. Certiorari, 4. Prohibition, 36. By which of the following modes can citizenship be acquired? I. By birth, 2. Hereditary, 3. By registration, 4. By request, 1. I and 2, 2. I, 2 and 3, 3. 2 and 3, 4. 4, 2 and 3, 37. In which of the following cases, the Supreme Court held that fundamental rights are unamendable? 1. A. K. Gopalan's case, 2. Keshvananda Bharti's case, 3. M. C. Mehta's case, 4. Golaknath's case, 38. Directive principles in our Constitution are 1. Enforceable in the courts of law, 2. Quasi-enforceable, 3. Partly non-enforceable, 4. Non-enforceable in the courts of law, 39. Which of the following expressions does not figure in the preamble to the Indian Constitution? 1. Sovereign Democratic Republic, 2. Socialist, 3. Secular, 4. Federal, 40. Right to property was removed from the list of fundamental rights during the rule of 1. Indira Gandhi government, 2. Morarji Desai government, 3. Narasimha Rao government, 4. Vajpayee government, 41. The chapter on fundamental duties includes 1. Duty to cherish and follow the noble ideals which inspired our freedom movement. 2. Duty to vote in general election, 3. Duty to promote the sense of fraternity among the people, 4. Duty to stick to the political party on whose ticket one contested election. 42. Which part of the Indian Constitution deals with the directive principles of state policy? 1. Part I, 2. Part 3, 3. Part 4, 4. Part V, 43. How many types of writs can be issued by the Supreme Court? 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 5, 4, 6, 44. The preamble of our Constitution reads India as 1. Sovereign, democratic, socialist, secular republic, 2. Socialist, democratic, secular republic, 3. Democratic, sovereign, secular, socialist republic, 4. Sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, 45. Who is the guardian of fundamental rights enumerated in Indian Constitution? 1. Supreme Court, 2. Parliament, 3. Constitution, 4. President, 46. Which part of the Indian Constitution deals with fundamental rights? 1. Part I, 2. Part 2, 3. Part 3, 4. Part 4, 47. How many fundamental duties are in the Indian Constitution? 1. 11, 2. 9, 3. 20, 4, 12, 48. Fundamental rights are not given to 1. Bankrupt persons, 2. Aliens, 3. Persons suffering from incurable diseases, 4. Political sufferers, 49. Consent of the people means consent of 1. A few people, 2. All people, 3. Majority of the people, 4. Leader of the people, 50. The directive principles of state policy was adopted from the 1. British Constitution, 2. Swiss Constitution, 3. U.S. Constitution, 4. Irish Constitution, 51. Which one of the following is the guardian of fundamental rights? 1. Legislature, 2. Executive, 3. Political parties, 4. Judiciary, 52. The idea of directive principles of state policy was borrowed by the framers of the Indian Constitution from the Constitution of 1. South Africa, 2. The Republic of Germany, 3. The Republic of Ireland, 4. Canada, 53. Which one of the following fundamental rights is available to Indian citizens only? 1. Equality before law, 2. Protection of life and personal liberty against any action without authority of law, 3. Protection from discrimination on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth, 4. Freedom of religion, 54. Which of the following articles of the Constitution deals with the fundamental duties? 1. Article 39C, 2. Article 51A, 3. Article 29B, 4. None of the above, 55. The preamble to our Constitution makes no mention of 1. Justice, 2. Fraternity, 3. Equality of status, 4. Adult franchise, 56. Which part of the Constitution deals with the directive principles of state policy? 1. Part 3, 2. Part 4, 3. Part I, 4. Part 2, 57. Fundamental duties were added to the Constitution by 1. 24th Amendment, 2. 39th Amendment, 3. 42nd Amendment, 4. 44th Amendment, 58. A secular state is one which 1. Has no religion of its own, 2. Is irreligious, 3. Is anti-religion, 4. Takes into consideration the religious sentiments of the people, 59. Freedom of the press is implied in the right to 1. Equal protection of the laws, 2. Freedom of speech, 3. Freedom of association, 4. Work and material security, 60. Fundamental rights granted to the Indian citizens, 1. Cannot be suspended, 2. Can be suspended, 3. Can never be suspended under any circumstance, 4. None of the above is correct, 61. A writ issued by the High Court or the Supreme Court to protect the fundamental rights of the citizens is known as 1. Mandamus, 2. Quo warranto, 3. Certiorari, 4. Habeas corpus, 62. The main purpose of including the directive principles of state policy in the Indian Constitution is to 1. Establish a welfare state, 2. Establish a secular state, 3. Check the arbitrary action of the government, 4. Provide best opportunities of development by the government, 63. Which one of the following fundamental rights was described by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar as the heart and soul of the Constitution? 1. Right to religion, 2. Right to constitutional remedies, 3. Right to property, 4. Right to education, 64. No person shall be a citizen of India if he has 1. Lived in a foreign country for more than 5 years, 2. Been convicted by a foreign court of law, 3. Voluntarily acquired citizenship of another country, 4. Accepted employment in another country, 65. Which one of the following is a fundamental right guaranteed by the Constitution of India? 1. Right to govern, 2. Right to property, 3. Right to information, 4. Right to equality, 66. Right to free education within certain limits is 1. guaranteed as a fundamental right, 2. Enshrined in the directive principles of state policy, 3. Outlined in the preamble of the Constitution, 4. Ignored by the Constitution, 67. No person can be employed in factories or mines unless he is above the age of 1. 12 years, 2. 14 years, 3. 18 years, 4. 20 years, 68. The writ of habeas corpus is issued in the event of 1. Loss of property, 2. Refund of excess taxes, 3. Wrongful police detention, 4. Violation of the freedom of speech, 69. Political equality is found in 1. The absence of privileges, 2. Universal adult suffrage, 3. Equal distribution of wealth, 4. The rationality of the individual, 70. List of fundamental duties were added to the Indian Constitution as Part 1, 4, 2, 5, 3, 2, 4, 3, 71. Under which one of the following writs an official can be prevented from taking an action which he is officially not entitled? 1. Mandamus, 2. Quo warranto, 3. Certiorari, 4. Habeas corpus, 72. In the Constitution of India, the fundamental rights, 1. Formed a part of the original Constitution, 2. Were added by the Fourth Amendment, 3. Were added by the Parliament in 152, 4. Were added under the 42nd Amendment, 73. Which one of the following writs is issued to courts, corporations, government servants or persons directing them to perform their public duty? 1. Habeas corpus, 2. Quo warranto, 3. Mandamus, 4. Prohibition, 74. In India, the right to property is now recognized as 1. A fundamental right, 2. A legal right, 3. A natural right, 4. A political right, 75. Right to vote is a 1. Political right, 2. Civil right, 3. Economic right, 4. Legal right, 76. Which fundamental right according to Dr. Ambedkar is like the heart of the Constitution? 1. Right of constitutional remedies, 2. Right to religion, 3. Right to equality, 4. Right to freedom, 77. What is the status of the right to property now? 1. Legal right, 2. Human right, 3. Fundamental right, 4. Natural right, 78. Which one of the following writs literally means what is your authority? 1. Habeas corpus, 2. Certiorari, 3. Quo warranto, 4. Prohibition, 79. What is the chief source of political power in India? 1. The people, 2. The Constitution, 3. The Parliament, 4. The Parliament and the state legislatures, 80. A court enforces enjoyment of a fundamental right by issuing 1. A decree, 2. An ordinance, 3. A writ, 4. A notification, 81. Political right does not include which of the following? 1. Right to vote, 2. Right to life, 3. Right to contest in election, 4. Right to lodge complaint with executive bodies of the government, 82. What is the minimum age prescribed in India for its citizens to cast their vote? 1. 18 years, 2. 21 years, 3. 16 years, 4. 20 years, 83. Which of the following rights is not granted by the Constitution of India at present as a fundamental right? 1. Right to equality, 2. Right to freedom, 3. Right to property, 4. Right against exploitation, 84. When were the fundamental duties of the Indian citizens incorporated in the Constitution? 1. 1952, 2. 1976, 3. 1979, 4. 1981, 85. Which is the competent body to prescribe conditions for acquisition of citizenship? 1. Election Commission, 2. President, 3. Parliament, 4. Parliament and Assemblies, 86. The Constitution of India assures economic justice to citizens through 1. Fundamental rights, 2. Fundamental duties, 3. Preamble, 4. Directive principles of state policy, 87. The right to public office is a 1. Civil right, 2. Economic right, 3. Moral right, 4. Political right, 88. Not to destroy the government property is a 1. Positive duty, 2. Legal duty, 3. Civil duty, 4. Negative duty, 89. Who proposed the preamble before the drafting committee of the Constitution? 1. Jawaharlal Nehru, 2. B.R. Ambedkar, 3. B.N. Rao, 4. Mahatma Gandhi, 90. Dual citizenship is a feature of 1. Unitary government, 2. Federal government, 3. Parliamentary government, 4. Presidential government, 91. The essential feature of democracy is giving prominence to the 1. Executive, 2. Judiciary, 3. Citizen, 4. Civil society, 92. Which of the following writs can lie only against a person holding a public office? 1. Habeas corpus, 2. Mandamus, 3. Prohibition, 4. Certiorari, 93. India is a secular state because in our country, 1. State has no religion, 2. Religion has been abolished, 3. State patronizes a particular religion, 4. None of these, 94. Which case is related to fundamental rights? 1. Golaknath vs. State of Punjab, 1967, 2. West Bengal vs. Union of India, 1963, 3. Sharma vs. Krishna, 1959, 4. State of Bombay vs. Balsara, 1951, 95. Directive principles of state policy in the Indian Constitution were taken from the Constitution of 1. Britain, 2. Ireland, 3. USA, 4. Canada, 96. As per Indian Constitution, the right to property is a 1. Fundamental right, 2. Natural right, 3. Legal right, 4. Moral right, 97. The success of democracy depends upon the 1. Right to criticize, 2. Right to association, 3. Right to personal liberty, 4. Right to property, is, sitting, 98. Which one of the following ceased to be a fundamental right under the Constitution? 1. Right to education, 2. Right to work, 3. Right to property, 4. Right to equality before law, 99. Directive principles of state policy in the Indian Constitution were taken from the Constitution of 1. Britain, 2. Ireland, 3. USA, 4. Canada, 100. As per Indian Constitution, the right to property is a 1. Fundamental right, 2. Natural right, 3. Legal right, 4. Moral right, 101. The success of democracy depends upon the 1. Right to criticize, 2. Right to association, 3. Right to personal liberty, 4. Right to property, 102. Citizens of India can vote at the age of 1. 18 years, 2. 21 years, 3. 22 years, 4. 25 years, 103. According to Preamble, the ultimate power lies in the hands of 1. Parliament, 2. Constitution, 3. President, 4. People, 104. Dual citizenship is an important feature in which form of government? 1. Parliamentary, 2. Federal, 3. Unitary, 4. Authoritarian, 105. Writs are issued by 1. Supreme Court, 2. High Courts, 3. The President, 4. Supreme Court and High Courts, 106. Fundamental duties were incorporated in the Indian Constitution on the recommendation of 1. Santhanam Committee, 2. Swaran Singh Committee, 3. Shah Commission, 4. Administrative Reforms Commission, 107. In Indian Constitution, fundamental rights were taken from the Constitution of 1. USA, 2. UK, 3. USSR, 4. None of these, 108. Which of the following is a political right? 1. Right to work, 2. Right to education, 3. Right to freedom of expression, 4. Right to vote, 109. Who can impose reasonable restrictions over fundamental rights? 1. Council of Ministers, 2. Parliament, 3. People, 4. Cabinet, 110. Provisions of citizenship in Indian Constitution became applicable in 1. 1950, 2. 1949, 3. 1951, 4. 1952, 111. In which part of the Indian Constitution, the fundamental duties are enshrined? 1. 4a, 2, 4b, 3, v, 4, 4, 112. Which of the following is not a fundamental right as per the Indian Constitution? 1. Right to education, 2. Right to information, 3. Right to speech, 4. Right to life, 113. What is meant by social justice? 1. All should have same economic rights. 2. All should have same political rights. 3. All kinds of discrimination based on caste, creed, color, and sex should be eliminated. 4. All should be granted right to freedom of religion. 114 are essential for liberty. 1. Restrictions, 2. Rights, 3. Privileges, 4. Laws, 115. Which one of the following is issued by the court in case of an illegal detention of a person? 1. Habeas corpus, 2. Mandamus, 3. Certiorari, 4. Quo warranto, 116. To which category right to vote belongs? 1. Human rights, 2. Civil rights, 3. Natural rights, 4. Political rights, 117. Which of the following would be called a secular state? 1. The state which follows a particular religion, 2. The state which is anti-religion, 3. The state which does not discriminate between religions, 4. The state which accepts all religions as religions of state, 118. Fill up, right duties. 1. Obstructs, 2. Instructs, 3. Implies, 4. Opposes, 119. How many fundamental rights were granted initially? 1. 6, 2, 7, 3, 4, 4, 5, 120. How liberty can be limited? 1. By rule, 2. By law, 3. By authority, 4. By equality, 121. Most important safeguard of liberty is, 1. Bold and impartial judiciary, 2. Well-knit party system, 3. Decentralization of power, 4. Declaration of rights, 122. Which one of the following kinds of equality is not compatible with the liberal notion of equality? 1. Legal equality, 2. Political equality, 3. Social equality, 4. Economic equality, 123. Political liberty implies, 1. People's control over the government, 2. Free political activities of the people, 3. Cooperation between politics and democracy, 4. Voters can make and unmake their government, 124. Which one of the following is an item included in the list of fundamental duties of an Indian citizen in the Constitution? 1. To practice secularism. 2. To develop scientific temper, humanism, and the spirit of inquiry and reform. 3. To pay all taxes to government regularly and correctly. 4. Not to assault any public servant in the, during, performance of his duties. 125. When were the fundamental duties incorporated in the Constitution? 1. 1975, 2. 1976, 3. 1977, 4. 1979, 126. How many fundamental duties are there in our Indian Constitution? 1. 11, 2. 9, 3. 12, 4. 8. 127. The concept of directive principles of state policy in Indian Constitution is adopted from that of 1. Ireland and Spain, 2. US and UK, 3. USSR and China, 4. Japan and Korea, 128. Which one of the following chapters in the Indian Constitution guarantees fundamental rights to the people? 1. Part 2, 2. Part I, 3. Part 4, 4. Part 3, 129. The directive principles incorporated in the Indian Constitution have been inspired by the Constitution of 1. Australia, 2. Ireland, 3. USA, 4. Canada, 130. In which of the following articles, citizenship rights of people who migrated from Pakistan to India is mentioned? 1. Article 4, 2. Article 8, 3. Article 6, 4. Article 10, 131. The directive principles of state policy has been adopted from which constitution? 1. U.S. Constitution, 2. British Constitution, 3. Irish Constitution, 4. French Constitution, 132. The source of authority of the Indian Constitution is 1. The Supreme Court, 2. The Government, 3. The People of India, 4. The President, 133. Which of the following attribute in the preamble states that no one should treat a fellow citizen as inferior? 1. Justice, 2. Liberty, 3. Equality, 4. Fraternity, 134. Right to constitutional remedies comes under underscore 1. Legal rights, 2. Fundamental rights, 3. Human rights, 4. Natural rights, 135. Which of the following is not guaranteed by Indian Constitution? 1. Right to equality, 2. Right of religious freedom, 3. Right to constitutional remedies, 4. Right to free education for all, 136. The Preventive Detention Act curtailed, 1. Right to freedom, 2. Right to equality, 3. Right to property, 4. Education right, 137. Ideas of welfare state are contained in 1. Fundamental rights, 2. Directive principles of state policy, 3. Preamble of the Constitution, 4. Part 7, 138. Indian citizenship is granted by 1. The President of India, 2. The Prime Minister, 3. The Ministry of Home Affairs, 4. The Ministry of External Affairs, 139. The term fraternity in the preamble of the Indian Constitution means a sense of 1. Friendliness, 2. Statehood, 3. Love and affection, 4. Brotherhood, 140. Which of the following authorities are competent to issue writs for the enforcement of fundamental rights? 1. President, 2. Supreme Court, 3. Supreme Court and High Courts, 4. Parliament.
Sun Judges ஆதி பொது அறிவு சேனலை பார்த்த அனைவருக்கும் நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கின்றோம். அடுத்த வீடியோவில் சந்திப்போம்.